Hi guys, it's Dean, and today I'm going to cover the Max Blaster. Now, this machine here is phenomenal for getting rid of odors, okay? I learned about this machine from Scott Blay. Shout out to Scott. And he was dead on about this machine. He was claiming about how awesome it was and how it would cut the car times down, and he was spot on. I mean, this machine is fantastic. Now, for a normal detail that just has a light odor in it, we hit it with this machine for about 2 hours, and it takes care of everything we need to. Now, if we have a vehicle that's been smoked in for, say, 5 or 6 years, and the person's never had it cleaned before, and it's tobacco or any other kind of smoke, cigar, you know, use your imagination, whatever smoke is in there, this machine will get rid of it. Now, what we usually do with the machine is we'll run it up to 8 hours, depending on how severe it is. The same with vomit, and the same with disaster details that just reek of BO and smell of food, rotten food and stuff like that. We'll run this machine, like I said, 8 hours the night before we do the detail. And then it's really nice because then we're not, you know, working inside of what smells like a garbage can. It can get pretty nasty sometimes with some of these bios and some of the other stuff that we do in here. So the last thing you want to do is be uncomfortable while you're trying to clean something up. So this is great. We run this machine, like I said, the night before. Kills all the smell inside the car. Now, getting to the other side of the coin, everybody wants to know, is it safe? What precautions do you have to take? Now, you notice here I've got it set up on the stand. Now what I'm doing is I'm sucking in fresh air. The machine's not running at the moment. Okay, if this was running, I wouldn't be in here. All right, but just for demonstration purposes, when you've got your machine up here and it is running, okay, it's going to draw fresh air in from here, pump it into the inside, and then it's not doing double the work. When it's sucking in nicotine-filled air or, you know, odors from biohazard or whatever, it's doing double the work because you're trying to clean it and then blow ozone into the machine to clean it again. It's a lot easier if you use it externally like this, if you've got one that's really, really nasty. Now, in a lot of my videos, you'll see the machine inside the car. That's just for staging purposes, for marketing, so that I can show the machine inside the nasty car. I don't run it like that. We run it like this when we're doing ozone treatments. Now, what is going on here is this is actually a lightning box. Now it's creating small little sparks inside, and those sparks produce ozone. Now that ozone breaks down a lot of stuff on contact because it's an unstable molecule. Now as it floats in the air, it latches on to other molecules and breaks them apart. The reason we cannot be around the machine when it's running is because that ozone will go into the lungs and start breaking down stuff that's inside the lungs. And we have a mucus lining inside the lungs that we need there. And if you run this machine and you're sitting in the car while the ozone machine's running, you're killing that mucus lining that's inside the lungs, that good bacteria that's there to protect you. That's why they say don't run this machine while you're near the vehicle. So what we usually do is we'll run this, sometimes we run it either outside or we'll run it inside the shop with the door open, or the next day what we will do is if it ran inside the shop all night, what we'll do is first thing in the morning we'll open up the doors, open up the back door, let fresh air go through, open up the doors on the vehicle and get all that ozone smell out of there. Now after an hour it's safe to work on the vehicle. So my suggestion is, if you've got a vehicle that's really bad, take the mats out because you're going to clean the mats anyways and they don't have to be ozonated. So take the mats out, put them off to the side, run your ozone machine the night before, and then the next day when you're starting your detail, you've got your wheels you can work on, you've got your floor mats you can work on the outside of the car. I would just let it sit with the doors open for about an hour to air it out before you start working on it, okay? Same thing with if you're doing an ozone treatment and you're giving the car back to the customer. After you're done running the machine, let it dissipate for at least an hour. Okay, I would fully open the doors because just putting down the windows may not get rid of it as quickly. So if you have all 4 doors open or 2 doors, whatever the case may be with the vehicle, if you're allowing air to flow through there, it's going to blow out all that ozone. Now, customers were asking me, well, the car still smells a bit after you clean it. Well, it smells of ozone because that ozone is right into the cushions, it's right into the padding inside the car, it's into the headliner. It gets in everywhere. It gets in the door cavities. It gets in everywhere that we can't physically get to clean. So that smell is going to last. It can last up to two to 3 weeks depending on how hard you hit it. If you're running this machine for 8 hours, you may smell it up to 3 weeks afterwards, and then after that, it's pretty much gone. Customers don't even notice it after that. It does make a huge difference. Some people say, you know, oh, it's a gimmick, it's this, it's that. Trust me, okay? I've used these machines for probably 25 years, and they work. I've had cars with skunk smell. I've had cars with, like I said before, puke. I've had cars with other stuff that was inside the car that was just nasty. And this is the only way we could get that car clean as far as the smell goes. Now, you have to back it up. When you're using this machine, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to run the ozone machine, no problem. One of the problems with doing that is if you don't clean the material inside the vehicle, as soon as it gets damp, it can reactivate that smell. So when you're doing an ozone treatment, you have to be very thorough. You have to go through the entire vehicle and make sure you clean every square inch of that vehicle and get everything off the surfaces where moisture might come in contact, because just a wet bathing suit on a cloth seat can bring back that smell again. So if you have to extract those seats because it's nasty, then you're going to have to do that. Do everything you possibly can to complement the machine, because this is doing a lot of work for you. It's getting into cavities where you can't get. So to complement the machine, do a really good job. And this service is not cheap. Okay, the machine is not cheap. This setup you're seeing here is about 750 bucks. Now, you know, people go, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I can get an ozone machine for $250. Yeah, you can. But this has a ton of plates in it. If you're getting an ozone machine with 1 plate in it, it's going to take you forever to do the same amount of work that this machine here is doing. So instead of wasting your time getting a cheaper machine, not being happy with the results, you know what? Save the money, buy this once, and you're done. All right, this machine is very efficient. This shows the customers that you know what you're doing and you're doing it at a professional level. So when you charge somebody $300 to $600 for an interior, they're going to understand why, because you're doing it at a professional grade. So that's pretty much everything I can tell you about the machine. I'll add in a little special effects into my video there, kind of show you what's going on. But it's neat because, like I said, it's basically a lightning box. I can't make it any more simpler than that. The smell you're going to smell is the same smell after a lightning storm. If you have a heavy, heavy lightning storm wherever you live and you walk outside, you'll smell that like a nitrogen type of smell in there. That's exactly what it is. It's the ozone coming off the lightning. Now, it doesn't bother us when we walk outside because it's so dissipated. But in a concentrated area, it will attack anything floating around. Urine particles, you know, anything from rotten food, bacteria. It breaks down all that stuff at a molecular level. And it does work. Because I've had vehicles in here that stunk so bad and they had been to 2 or 3 other shops that did not use an ozone machine. As soon as we used this and we went through it and we treated it, smell was gone. Never came back. So this machine does work. And once again, I'm going to say hats off to Scott Blay. This machine is amazing. And a special shout out to Andrew St. Pierre, because I was using another machine for a long time because at the time I was not able to afford this machine. And Andrew ordered one of these machines for himself, and he also got me one as well. And I really appreciate it because this machine has made me a ton of money since I got it. So, like I said, it pays to work together, and there's a lot of wonderful people out there giving out a lot of fantastic information. You guys need to go out to the groups. You need to watch the YouTube videos, especially the ones from veterans that have been doing this 15 to 20 years. There's a lot of really good information out there, and most of us want to stop you guys hitting those stumbling blocks that we all hit, and we want you guys to get good money right off the get-go. Now, Andrew came here, he got training with me. He watched the same people I watched, and guess what? He came right out of the gate, and now he's a top detailer in this area. And nobody can hold a candle to him. I mean, him and I are bouncing back and forth in this area for the top spot all the time. And it's not a competition. What it is two people working together, and because we're both high-end detailers, our customers have absolutely no issue. If I'm busy, they'll go to Andrew. If Andrew's busy, they come to me. And believe me, both of us, our shops are packed solid. So it does pay to work together. There is no competition in this industry. You only make competition for yourself. So like I said, there's a lot of phenomenal detailers out there that have a lot of great information, can save you a lot of time and money, and make you a lot of money. So get out there, start watching, start listening, and learn about all these different tools, because I'm just telling you right now, nothing's better than making an extra $100 listening to an ozone machine running for 4 hours. And that's all you have to do. I mean, if you've cleaned the car, you know, you run this 4 hours before, it's an extra $100 in your pocket. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't understand. Guys are like, oh, an ozone machine costs so much. $750 for this setup. How many times do you think I've run this machine? Okay, how much money do you think I've made off this machine? I probably made 50, 60 grand just running, you know, ozone machines for the last 30 years. It pays for itself. My first ozone machine I got was $700 and it had 2 plates in it. Okay, this one has a lot more than that. Like, this is a lot faster than the old machine I had that I paid $700 for. So for $50, you know, 30 years later, I've got a machine that works and gets the car out of here in 2 to 8 hours, guaranteed, with no issues. All right? So it's all about making the customer happy. So if we go and we up our equipment and we tell the customer, look, we're using professional grade equipment, and we prove that to them, you are going to get that money coming in the door. Okay? And the guy doing the details down the street for 99 bucks probably does not have an ozone machine. He probably doesn't do it properly. All right. Hopefully you'll watch more of my videos. Hopefully you'll reach out to my featured videos that are in my my channel space and learn from the detailers that I learned from as well. I don't have all the answers, and any awesome things that I've shown you came from the awesome people that I learned from. So I'm not taking credit for other people's work. I'm just sharing stuff with you guys and trying to encourage you to get out there and learn as much as you can, make a lot more money, okay? Have a fantastic day. I know I carried on a little bit about this, but it is important. It's an easy way to make money, and there's been a lot of detailers asking me about the ozone machine. So there you go. I hope I've covered everything. If you have any more questions, you guys can direct message me. Watch Scott Blaze's video on the ozone machines. It was at Dallas Paint Correction, that video channel. Subscribe to his channel. He's an awesome guy. He has a lot of great information. There's a lot of phenomenal detailers, like I said, that all have great information. Okay, I've learned a lot of tips and tricks from a lot of them, and they're all featured in my featured channels on my YouTube channel. All right, so go to extremecarcleaning.com, check these guys out, and you can be making a lot of money too. All right, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.